Good morning, students. Let us continue with lesson 4 of Science 1, Effects of Electric Current. The topics we are going to cover today are electric motor, its principle and uses, construction and working of an electric motor, galvanometer, Faraday's law of induction, and Fleming's right-hand rule. What do you see in this picture? An electric motor. You must have seen electric motor inside various machines. What it does there? It takes the electric energy and converts it into mechanical energy and the machine starts working. So let's see what is an electric motor. A device which converts electrical energy into mechanical energy is called an electric motor. So what is the principle behind this electric motor? It works on the principle that a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field experiences a force. Where do we use this motor? An electric motor is used in fans, refrigerators, mixers, washing machines, computers, pumps, etc. Here we have the diagram of an electric motor. So let us learn the different parts of this motor. It consists of two poles of the magnet. Then we can see a rectangular loop ABCD. Then there are split rings, carbon brushes X and Y, and an axle. So let us learn about each part. The electric motor consists of rectangular loop of copper wire having resistive coating placed between the north pole and south pole of a magnet. So the copper wire, which is in the form of a rectangular loop forming ABCD, it is placed between the north pole and the south pole of a magnet. And here the magnet used is a horseshoe magnet, the U-shaped horseshoe magnet. We have just shown the two ends of the magnet. The two ends of the loop are connected to the two halves P and Q of a split ring. Can you see split ring in the diagram? The rectangular loop is then connected to the split ring. The split ring, why it is called split ring? Because the ring is not complete, there is a gap in between. The inner surfaces of the split ring are tightly fitted on the axle. So the split ring P and Q, they are tightly fitted on the axle. Can you see the axle in the diagram? The outer conducting surfaces are in contact with the two stationary carbon brushes X and Y respectively. So the split ring inner surface is connected on the axle. In the outer surface you have carbon brushes X and Y. This is shown in the diagram. So these carbon brushes are pushing the split ring towards the axle. These are the various parts of the electric motor. After learning the parts of the electric motor, let us see how this motor works. When I am explaining this, concentrate on the diagram. When the circuit is completed, the current flows from A to B through the carbon brushes X and Y. So when the circuit is complete, the current starts flowing and it will flow from A to B through the carbon brushes X and Y. Since the direction of the magnetic field is from north pole to south pole, according to Fleming's left-hand rule, a force is exerted on the branch AB and pushes it down. You should always remember, in a motor, Fleming's left-hand rule is used. So according to Fleming's left-hand rule, what happens? Due to the current, a force is exerted on the branch AB and it pushes it down. In the branch AB, the current is flowing in the upward direction and the force is exerting the branch and pushing it in the downward direction. The current in the CD branch is in the opposite direction to that of AB. You can see in the diagram, the current in the branch CD is in the downward direction. So what happens? The force exerted on the branch CD is in the upward direction. Thus, because of the force and the current, the loop and the axle starts rotating in an anti-clockwise direction. This you can understand by the second diagram, where the direction of the fingers showing the Fleming's left hand rule, and the axle and the loop rotating when the current is passing. Now come back to the diagram. After half a rotation, the two halves of the split ring P and Q come in contact with the carbon brushes X and Y respectively. And because of this, again the current in the loop starts flowing in the direction DCBA. Now the current in the direction is DCBA, that is, it changes the direction. First it was ABCD, now the direction of the current is DCBA. So therefore, the force is exerted on the branch DC in the downward direction, and on the branch BA is in the upward direction, and the loop continues to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. Thus, the current in the loop is reversed after each half rotation, and this is the way the electric motor works. What do you see in this picture? A galvanometer. What is the use of a galvanometer? A galvanometer is an instrument which is used to detect the presence of current in a circuit. So when you join a galvanometer in a circuit, it will tell you the presence of current. It works on the same principle as that of an electric motor. In galvanometer, the pointer deflects on both the sides of the zero mark depending on the direction of the current. See in the diagram, you can see 0 is in the center and the readings are there on both the sides. So depending on which direction the current is flowing, the galvanometer will show the deflection. A galvanometer can be modified suitably to measure a current as in an ammeter, or to measure potential difference as in a voltmeter. In the year 1831, scientist Michael Faraday showed that an electric current can be produced in a conductor with the help of a moving magnet. If a current is switched on or off in the solenoid coil, a current is induced in the coil. Such as induction is also observed when the current in the solenoid coil is increased or decreased. Current is induced in the coil when it is moved aside from front of the solenoid. From all these, Michael Faraday concluded that whenever the number of magnetic lines of force passing through the coil changes, current is induced in the coil, and this is known as Faraday's law of induction. And the current produced in the coil is called the induced current. Now let us learn Fleming's right hand rule. What does this rule say? Stretch the thumb, the index finger and the middle finger in such a way that they will be perpendicular to each other. Which fingers? The thumb, the index finger and the middle finger. And all the three fingers should be perpendicular to each other. In this position, the thumb indicates the direction of motion of the conductor. The index finger shows the direction of the magnetic field, and the middle finger shows the direction of the induced current. This rule is known as Fleming's right hand rule.